All right, joining me now is Lara Logan, Fox Nation host and former CBS News correspondent. Also Dinesh D'Souza, conservative commentator and author of the upcoming book, United States of Socialism, and Victor Davis Hanson, senior fellow at the Hoover Institution. Some of my favorite civil libertarians always remind me that it's at times like these where it's most important to defend liberties and safety. You want security and safety, but there's always a balance. And Victor, the media made sure to smear, of course, the anti-lockdown protesters.
We're seeing militia groups, we're seeing long guns, we're seeing Nazi symbols.
Liberate a free Michigan, Virginia is the kind of leadership that puts lives at risk.
This is the height of irresponsibility.
You want to call yourself protesters, leave your guns home. Those are terrorists.
Victor, it reminds me a lot of what they said about the Tea Party folks back in 2009 and 10.
No, you're not, and it's the same thing. And we thought that this neo-socialist agenda was refuted in the 2019 and 20 primaries. I thought it was. Bernie Sanders was not successful. AOC, that type of agenda was not popular. And now, like zombie-like, it's using this crisis to reemerge and rebirth. It never had 51% support. What's really sad, Laura, is that there's a suppression of expression that's not symmetrical. If you say that you're tolerant about modeling errors. People, they say, well, science is not exact. Okay, the modelers got it wrong. Okay, masks are good today and sort of maybe not good or really bad, depending on the day of the week. And the virus is transmitted this way by touching something, no, by aerosol, no, by droplets. People understand that science is evolving. They give people the benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't work the other way. If you have any skepticism about this lab in China, not that it was a bioweapon, just that it was an accident, then you're a conspiracy theorists. If you say that hydroxychloroquine might have some useful off-label use, then it's equivalent to advocating the return of mercury or arsenic. If you say flu, just the word influenza, that's a taboo word, even though that we know now from the USC samplings, from the Stanford samplings, from things overseas, that the people who are seropositive might be 4 to 15%. That radically changes the denominator. And guess what? Maybe the virus doesn't kill 3 or 400, but maybe 1 or 2 like the flu does per 1,000.
Dinesh, so the smear goes a long way, and this is a familiar tactic. Dinesh, Dr. Fauci had a message to all the protesters as well.
What's your message back to those protesters?
If you jump the gun and go into a situation where you have a big spike, you're going to set yourself back. So as painful as it is to go by the careful guidelines of gradually phasing into a reopening, it's going to backfire.
Dinesh, as Dr. Fauci admits, he doesn't have to make decisions with the economy in mind. That's not his focus. Is that an issue?
Well, I think that there have been 2 separate ideas that have been conflated from the beginning of this crisis. The first one is the idea of social distancing, and the other is the idea of a comprehensive economic lockdown. Now, those have been pursued in tandem, but they're not the same. If you look to other countries, consider Sweden, for example, they have never had an economic lockdown, but they do have social distancing. So it's possible to have one strategy without the other. And yet, what's happening now is there's a kind of rhetorical bludgeoning in which protesters who are saying, listen, let's take a second look. Yeah, we're all for social distancing, but there may be ways to open up the economy and still have social distancing. And those people are treated as if they are somehow reckless, as if they are not considering the possibility of death, as if they're trying to infect their friends. Nothing could be further from the truth. Legitimate debate is being demonized, and I think that's very unfortunate.